Hey, howdy. It's time to come back to Peggle. It's been a little bit. But now we can keep going. With Claude and his funny little flippers. Good start. Excellent start, oh my god. Come on. That's better. Oh, come on. That was a lot of work for one shot. So, an interesting fact about this music, by the way, because as it happens, I've already extracted the music from most of the PopCap games that I'm planning on uploading. I was always under the impression that this was dynamic music. I don't think it is. I'm fairly certain it's just, or maybe it is. It's really hard to tell just by looking at the files, I have to say. Yeah, it is interactive music. Okay. Or dynamic, rather. Ooh, that was cool. Because I eventually need to make a video where I just go through OpenMPT and show off how these songs are constructed, because it's kind of fascinating. I guess, since we've come this far, we could try and go for the ultimate extreme. Uh-oh, that's gonna clear it. No! Wow, okay. I see how it is, game. I definitely meant to do that. That sucks. There we go, now the flippers can do a bit more. Okay, I guess that counts as a lump shot. That was hideous. Better, but I'm still kind of up a creek right now. Oh, come on! I gotta get better at the free balls. Ah. Yeah, I'm floundering a little bit. No. I don't know. This game never really grabbed me quite as much as it seemed to grab other people. Which might explain why it's taken me so long to come back to playing it. Part of that is that I am bad, but the other part is that just... The way I see this game is that it's not super fun, but it is a dopamine factory. It's one of those. Or it's not necessarily engaging, but you will be coming back to it whether you're having fun or not because of those high moments. TF2 is kind of a similar ilk that I may not always leave with a smile on my face, but there are moments while I'm playing that will make me smile at one point. Wow, okay. That was cool. Okay, this is much better. Really cool. Clean. Nah, less clean. I could get a lucky bounce here. Oh, the Peggle gods are kind. Oh no, my hubris! No, my hubris! Okay, thank God. Hubris is cancelled. Oh God, that could have been bad. My hubris. Oh, this is an awful spawn. Oh, he didn't react fast enough. That's part of the problem with the flippers, is sometimes it is really hard to react from the ball zipping around like that. Possible rip? Oh! We save these? It's kind of a weird shot. Yeah, we got this. This definitely feels like this definitely feels like as you get further along, the Peggle Masters get more and more fun. Like, a lot of these, like, Jimmy and Claude and Bjorn are kind of just iffy. But then you get later on to stuff like Warren and Master Who, and then, as if by magic, it is so much more fun. Oh no, don't go in it's in the gutters again. I've actually been to a pinball arcade before, which was actually a very fun experience. I quite enjoyed it. Even though I'm not super huge on pinball. I have to admire, it was in like Austin, Texas when I was like visiting friends of the family. And of course, since it's Austin, Texas, everything is eccentric. Or I suppose it's just because the friend of the family we were visiting is very eccentric himself. But it was awesome. I kind of wish I kind of wish that sort of business model was still sustainable today. I mean, it kind of is. Like, it's like the same kind of deal as vinyl, that like there are people that will pay even today. It's just that it's less people than you used to be able to get. Hey, Ultra Extreme. But it was both a great sensory overload, and it was also just cool to see how many different licensed pinball machines were there of various types and of various brands. A lot of movie ones to my memory. Or maybe those were just the ones that stuck out to me, I forget. Because I remember, back when I was a kid, my parents used to take me to Chuck E. Cheese every once in a while. And this is around the same time that I played like Peggle and like PopCap downloadable games, so it kind of fits in with the time period. And first off, I can totally understand that sort of the evolution of mascot horror, because the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics and like the dudes in mascot costumes are freaking creepy. They're really creepy. Maybe it's just me, but they've always been unnerving to me. Hey, Renfield. I can't quite explain why, but it's very, very unnerving to me. And I imagine, I mean, between Alex Hirsch and Scott Cawthon and everyone else who made pieces of media about animatronics coming to life and trying to murder you, I wasn't the only one that felt uncomfortable around these things. And not just Chuck E. Cheese either. I wasn't like fully conscientious of it when it was around, but the McDonald's mascots, when they were in like mascot suits, were very strange. Because, I mean, that was the thing that shocked me so much about the whole, that McDonald's ad campaign with the Grimace Shake, is that for the longest time, McDonald's tried their best to act like that era of mascots kind of just never existed. And then they, like, to the point of axing Ronald McDonald, who for a while was the emblem of the company. Because, you know, associating your company with a creepy clown isn't really on the up and up these days. But then they do this ad campaign where they brought back Grimace, and only Grimace, which I thought was interesting. Like, their ads were cute. Like, the old McDonald's, like, mascot-based stuff was cute. Or as cute as you can get for an ad campaign of a big corporation. But like, bring back the Hamburglar and stuff like that. All the like weird ones. With very goofy and specific ad campaigns to go alongside them. Like I think if I remember correctly, the shtick with the Hamburglar was, oh, the Hamburglar, he steals hamburgers. Help us sell more hamburgers so that the Hamburglar won't steal them all. Or something to that effect. Grimace was a bit more Grimace and Ronald McDonald were a bit more abstract, and to my memory, Grimace is a giant taste bud. You wouldn't know it from looking, because he kind of just looks like a purple, silly little guy, but he's supposed to be a taste bud. But it is funny how sort of, not ethics per se, but the sort of like strategies for marketing fast food has changed so much. And it depends on how well or how poorly a company is doing. It's like McDonald's, to my understanding, is doing perfectly fine. But every time I see a Burger King commercial, I can't help but think the only reason that they added a jingle is because they're starting to flounder. Ooh, the bumpers. I have to wonder if it's optimal to wait, or if it's optimal to immediately go for spooky balls. The real interesting one to me is Chick-fil-A, because up until a certain point, I had literally never seen a Chick-fil-A ad beyond like those like 10-year-old billboards that say "Eat more chicken." And then, just like out of nowhere, for seemingly no reason other than profit margins, I suppose, Chick-fil-A ads just appeared. And now there's Chick-fil-A ads every once in a while. And it's kind of interesting how it worked out. And I think I mentioned it before, but Chick-fil-A is not really... Like, it sort of has this weird image of being an institution of God-fearing Christians. But over time, it's kind of just evolved into being a generic fast food joint that sells chicken and is presumably healthier than eating burgers, but that's still... the jury's still out on that. I think it's technically healthier, but not by a lot. You're still eating fried food and fried potatoes. It can only get so healthy. Oh no. Okay, never mind. That's better than it could have been. I was worried it was just gonna drop straight down to the side. This is kind of a rough level. There we go. That's gonna go into 10K. I can almost picture it now. No! Never mind. I should have had more faith in it. But I have a sneaking suspicion that the reason why this game got as popular as it did in more recent times is because it's a really easy game to just talk about random nonsense while you half focus on taking shots. That's what I've been doing. I've kind of just been talking about mascots for the past 10 minutes. It's a very easygoing game, which makes it a good streamer game, which I reckon is why it's gotten more popular. Because there's this whole sort of subsection of games that only are, like, what's the best way to describe it? I wouldn't necessarily say that they are streamer games themselves, but they are games that attract streamers like lightning rods. Because they're either very easygoing, or it's a type of game of like, oh, you can have shenanigans with friends. Like Among Us is a perfect example. I'd say Among Us is a fine game, good social deduction game. It takes the formula of games of like the, you know, like the camp game of Mafia or games like Town of Salem, and adapts it to do its own thing very well. And I'm sure that before it blew up, back in like, oh, when did the game release? 2018, right? I forget when Among Us actually released initially. It was a while ago. It might have been as early as like 2016, 2017. Because I remember pretty distinctly, it released before the Henry Stickmin collection, which was also by Innersloth. Because that was their whole pedigree before Among Us blew up, is that they made, to those of you that haven't heard of these, they made this awesome set of basically point-and-click adventure games, just like flash games, filled with goofy references and just general silly happenings. There we go. But then they made Among Us to kind of little fanfare at first. It was kind of just like a cute little social deduction game that they cooked up that had multiplayer. And then a few people played it, and it had a mobile version, and it was all hunky-dory. And then a certain band of streamers played it, and it blew up to like gargantuan proportions. Normal distribution, my butt. Hey, Tula. Tula's bad. Unfortunately. She's just not a very good Peggle master. I don't have much good to say about her. Wish I did, because her design is adorable. But Flower Power is just not very good. But what I was saying, streamer games. It's sort of in the same ilk as the time period where every game was, around a certain time period, was a simulator game. Spurred on by Goat Simulator and Surgeon Simulator, every game had to be either a simulator, had to make some reference to like Slender or Shrek, or had to be some like weird form of horror game. Before the FNAF craze even. It was because it made for a good YouTuber game. And it was the kind of thing, like, it was just being made by some like random people on Game Jolt. But those random people on Game Jolt fully recognized that if, like, this is what YouTubers were playing. So they made more. And it sort of created this whole weird brand of game that normal people would not get anything out of, but it was almost specifically designed to be a YouTuber game. I Am Bread is a fantastic example of this. No sane person is going to play I Am Bread and enjoy the controls. It's just not how it works. It is designed to piss someone off. Specifically someone who has a webcam. like I Am Bread and Surgeon Simulator, and Quappa's kind of in that same party as well. But I feel like Quap was also closer to... Quap was also just Bennett Foddy's obsession with games that have terrible controls. But I suppose that's more getting over it than Quap. But I feel like part of what killed it was, what's the best way to describe it? Because, like, something definitely happened that stopped those games from really taking off anymore. And I think it was because a lot of those big creators shifted gears to play, like, more specific types of games that weren't just bait games. Not to mention they started getting the label that they were bait games, that they were designed to piss people off and to get clicks on YouTube. And then we come closer to the modern day, and you have games like, what am I thinking of? Phasmophobia comes to mind, but I feel like that game was actually trying to be a game. Games that specifically, like, the only reason you would play it is if you had a webcam in front of you and you were either riffing the whole time or you were in the midst of a goofy multiplayer experience. Oh, that's a good example. Only Up is actually a very good example of it. A game that is specifically designed to be a streamer game. Now, Only Up had its own problems, of course, with peddling NFTs and being generally not a very good game. But the way that it was designed was almost specifically to cater to the same sort of, like, the physics are annoying, but chat is spurring me on, so I have to finish this game kind of game. A modern incarnation of something like Surgeon Simulator or I Am Bread. And getting over it with Bennett Foddy, though, gotta say, after having seen a playthrough of it by none other than the Gray Fruit, it definitely did change my opinion on the game. Because Bennett Foddy is a very interesting gentleman. Because he is very talented when it comes to making games. He made Ape Out. Ape Out is a great game. And he also made Quap. With the full intention of it being a meme game, I think, but I don't think even he expected it to blow up as much as it did. Thanks for the green peg that did literally nothing, Flora. I appreciate it. I think I just called her Flora, but I also genuinely don't remember if that's her name or not. But getting over it with Bennett Foddy is kind of an interesting case, because it markets itself as a rage game, but the controls are genuinely pretty nuanced. It's like, it's not just they throw you into these situations knowing that it's going to take a while and you're going to rage at it and it's going to be funny. The controls are, like, the scenarios are constructed in a way that will cause you to fail, but also to learn how to better utilize the controls. It's interesting, it's weird to describe. Like, there's something a bit more dignified about it. A bit more refined. All while Bennett Foddy gives a long soliloquy on how culture has evolved to be more wasteful over time, which is very fun. But I mean, speaking of games that were designed to cater to YouTubers and streamers, Five Nights at Freddy's is also a phenomenal example after a certain point. Because at first, I think it was a guy trying to make a horror game with a unique concept, and I think he excelled at that. But past a certain point, it kind of turned into, okay, I know this game is going to be played in front of a webcam for a big audience. What's the best way to keep people coming back? Not to mention, I haven't even mentioned game theory yet, but, you know, the Five Nights at Freddy's and game theory kind of go hand in hand. As, like, I don't know the best way to describe it. I think of game theory in a similar way that I think of Adam Sandler movies. Though, like, if you enjoy game theory and you think it's genuinely interesting, more power to you, but I cannot get into it. It's just not for me. But I mean, if you somehow get a lot of enjoyment out of it, go nuts. I'm not gonna stop you. I might laugh at you a little bit sometimes, but it seems like one of those channels where if you're a big fan of it, you learn to laugh at yourself as well. And I think to a similar extent, Undertale and Deltarune also kind of fall into this category, though. Oh, what we getting? Triple score. Aw. The thing about Undertale and Deltarune that are so fascinating to me is that Toby Fox knows exactly how to get people interested in something. He's got quite a talent to him. He is excellent at creating characters that the internet will just go nuts over. Just think about it. In the 2 chapters of Deltarune that have been released so far, I can think of like 4 characters that the internet immediately latched onto and refused to let go of. And there's like 2 or 3 characters from Undertale that have that exact same quality. Man's just good at this. He's good at getting people hyped about his characters and his character design. Now, granted, it is also it's his and Temmie Chang's design, to be fair. But the 2 of them make a great team, genuinely. Toby Fox is great at the story and the writing of the characters, and Temmie Chang is just an awesome artist. Don't be multi-ball. You know what? That's not multi-ball, but I'll take it. Or that's close to multi-ball, but I'll still take it. Ah. But I'm starting to reach a point where I no longer understand what's the like YouTube meta, as it were. Because like back a few years ago, I could identify pretty cleanly how the game was played, but as the years have gone on, it's getting more and more fuzzy in my eyes. And I don't think it has anything to do with YouTube. I think it has everything to do with me. Just getting older and wiser, but also more disconnected from the world. or the cultural world, shall we say. Being disconnected from YouTube does not mean I'm disconnected from the world, though some would argue that that's true. Shoot. I kind of just have to take a blind shot here. There we go. That was lucky. But I no longer really know how the game is played, the heart of the trade, how the sausage gets made. I still gotta watch or like see a performance of Hamilton at some point. I still never have. I have heard all of the songs, not only because I was in chorus, and you know, chorus and drama are joined at the hip. And drama is back in that year. Everyone in drama was obligated to not only have seen Hamilton, but also to have known the soundtrack by heart. Which was very fun. That, and I've listened to the Weird Al's Hamilton polka. That's the extent of my consumption of what's his face? Lin-Manuel Miranda? I forget the guy's name. The guy who made Hamilton. That's the extent of what I've seen of his stuff. These levels are kind of rough. Anything that involves like shapes and polygons tends to be way harder than normal levels. Oh, come on. Why did it have to be multi-ball? It is nice to see that modern YouTube is also a lot less toxic, I will say. Like, there are certainly moments. But, now that, I mean, a select few gentlemen have been widely derided and are no longer given a platform, YouTube, as far as, like, popular people, is much better than it used to be. I am, of course, referring to Keemstar, but, surely there's a way for me to do this. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm gonna have to do another blind shot. Okay, good. So is it always multi-ball in this one? Am I just getting super, super, super unlucky, or is it always multi-ball? Hang up. I'm curious now. Let me reset until I get one near the top. No, it's not random. I've just been getting stupidly unlucky. Great, good to know. It's just been multi-ball just about every time. But there's a lot of YouTube history that I still need to brush up on. Not even brush up on, just learn, period. Because I'm fortunate enough to have learned about Neil Cicierega and the stuff that he's done other than like the two things that everyone knows him for, even that they don't know him by name. But it's like him, like back in the old days of YouTube. Like what's the guy's name? Ray William Johnson, right? That's his name. To my memory, he was one of the original very trashy YouTubers to my memory. I don't know the full story, but that's always what he came across as based on what I've seen. Oh, come on. Very close. Bad spot for a multi-ball. Yep. Okay. That was a dud. That was a complete dud. I don't mind if I end up spending a little bit longer in these levels, because these levels are quite a bit harder. Like I said, geometry is your worst enemy in Peggle, so... Not geometry, like shapes and polygons. Wow. Score tripled. At least I got one free ball out of it. Though I will say, something that was interesting to see from the outside in was, back when I made almost exclusively Isaac stuff, I would keep looking at there's an option in like the analytics of your YouTube channel where it shows what other YouTubers your audience is being recommended. And I don't know if it's still like this, but I have reached a point where they have, it is said that, like, oh, your people who watch your channel also watch, it is said per echo, exactly like once or twice, and God, my hope is that I get that number to be higher, because I'm so sick of seeing the same 5 Isaac YouTubers there over and over and over again. Same Isaac YouTubers that I have filtered out of my YouTube recommendations because I don't want to see freaking... I don't want to see the same Drek over and over and over again. Because as much as I love Isaac, the Isaac community is, trying, shall we say. Not the worst community to interact with, but certainly not the best either. Because it's the usual kind of shenanigans of uploading something. I mean, mainly because I make content on the workshop, I'm privy to a lot of stuff that most people are not privy to. Who are just casual enjoyers of Isaac. Like the sort of mentality that modders can do literally anything, and all you have to do is ask. Which, I mean, that's the goal. But, there's this sort of, indignance when something isn't fixed immediately in a mod. But like, oh, how dare you? You have nothing better to do with your life, right? Well, no, that's the problem. If I had the ability, I would love to make YouTube videos, make Isaac mods, and just have that be my day-to-day. But I cannot do that. Because, as it turns out, I want to have actual options besides I make YouTube videos. Hence college, hence grad school, you know the deal. This is going much better. I just need to hope that I can crack through these polygons. Okay, now we got it. Damn, are we gonna... we're 45 minutes in. Are we gonna get to the Celestial Realm? Wow, that's so loud. What the hell? Excuse me. Last pickups. What is with the visual effect on that sucks? What is with that? Did the visual effect get updated in Nights? It must have. They bring out the whole brass section for that. Good damn. Wow. It's definitely been a fun series of conversations that I've had today. Talking about mascots and mascot horror and YouTube. And old YouTube versus new YouTube. It's nice. Like I said, Peggle this is the reason why people play Peggle, because it's a great game to just zone out and talk about random nonsense. Okay, that was kind of a bad second fireball, but I think I can save this. Oh. Let's go. God, I'm getting so many freaking emails from my college. No, I don't care about the ENE light lunch. No, I don't care about frozen yogurt this week. Nah. I shouldn't be too mad about it. You know, my college does this stupid thing where, like, there is no mail list. Everyone gets all of the mail for every single club. So there will just be moments, and whenever they have it, like, registered, whenever the college is, like, has the time slot for the emails to be sent up at their system, you will just get 3 emails in a row of just 3 completely different clubs that you have never interacted with before and never intend to join. It'll be emails like, join the alliance of first-generation students today. And it's like, that's great, but I'm not a first-generation student, so what can I do with that information? It's like the alliance of African-American leaders. Yeah, that's great, and I commend your efforts, but I can't really join. So I don't know, it's just annoying. And then buried under all of those emails is stuff that's actually important, like how I think it was like tomorrow or day after, they're doing fire alarm tests starting at 9:30 a.m. Yippee! If I get woken up by a fire alarm tomorrow, I'm going to be very crabby. Especially because tomorrow's one of my off days. God knows I need it. It's been a rough week. I don't think this is meant to be. Oh. Oh no. Okay, that sucked. I think I'll go until the end of Cinderbottom's levels, and then I'll call it. And then the next episode will be a little bit shorter, and I'll just do Master Who, the Celestial Realm. I don't think I'm gonna do stuff like the challenges and the duels. I might. But I think I'm fine with just moving on to the next game, because we got a couple of Peggle games to get through. A couple of weird ones. Oh, what? Yeah, this seems like it should be my target still. Oh no. Oh. Oh yes? I feel like, I mean, I should probably elaborate on the Isaac tuber hate thing. I feel like part of it is I absolutely despise Twitch chat culture, and those sort of creators and Twitch chat culture kind of go hand in hand. So I abhor both because they're cut from a similar kind of cloth. I generally don't really like Twitch that much either. One of the few YouTubers that I can, one of the few Twitch streamers that I can tolerate that is very much a Twitch streamer TM is Northern Lion. Just because, I mean, he's Northern Lion. He's literally the reason I got into Isaac. And, you know, the reason why I fell down this wonderful rabbit hole known as Steam. Alright, Master Who. I think I stop here. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Ah, there we go. Oh, come on. That would actually trigger an Easter egg, but I already did it on the save file, goofing around. It plays Ode to Joy, and it plays like a little bit in the credits, which is really cool. That's all I got for now, I think. Thanks so much for watching.